Welcome back. Today we're going to be focusing on part C and part D of our Creating a Colony project. For this part of the project, we're really looking at the kinds of people that are going to be settling and coming along with you from England to the New World, to your colony. So you have 100 points that you may spend, and you have to pick 14 different people to go on the trip with you. So you are the 15th person, so you don't have to spend money on yourself, but you have to spend these points on the people to go to your colony with you. So you're going to record who is going to go and how many of which you are going to use your points for. So for example, a doctor is 25 points, and that is 1/4 of the points that you are allowed to spend. That's a large amount of points, but you might feel like you really need that. Farmers, 5 points. A soldier's 12 points. A blacksmith is 8. A translator, so these people are going to know the native language of the indigenous people. An experienced leader is 15. Children are 3, and church officials are 8. So again, you have 100 points to spend, and you need to pick 14 different people. So choose wisely, record who is coming in the green, and then answer the questions that correspond. Okay? Those questions that correspond, make sure that you're using complete sentences and include as much detail as possible. So number 3 is going to have you go back and think about what you selected yesterday and why, and you're going to elaborate on that. Same with the supplies and the people. So answer those questions. Question 4 also is going to have you describing the conditions on the board of the ship as you journeyed across the Atlantic. Again, be as creative as possible. I'm looking for in-depth responses. I'm looking for creativity, but I'm also looking that you have done a little understanding of what we've covered so far in content. All right, once you have that finished, you're going to start working on site, pick a site, which is part D, and you are now landed, okay? When you've landed, you are picking where you want to colonize. So all of your crew, all your supplies, you have to pick somewhere to settle. You have to pick a site to live. And based on when you left, so remember in the first part of this, some of you have to pick a month. So depending on when you left, determine when you arrive. And if you remember from our Explorer's Voyage, it could take anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks, sometimes a little bit longer depending on weather. So when do you arrive? Think about the seasons, think about growing crops, think about winters, and that kind of thing, and where are you going to settle? So you are going to have to look at the map. Again, this is a future of the 13 colonies. Obviously, they haven't colonized yet, but this kind of gives you an idea of where we're heading. So you'll click on this hyperlink, and it's going to take you to a website. And you had to first select where you are going to be moving. So are you going to colonize in the New England area, in the middle, or the southern colonies? So pick an area, and then from there, try to narrow it down. As you can see, we have like part of Pennsylvania there that looks very similar to the shape of Pennsylvania today. There's like Maryland, Virginia, Maine, Massachusetts. So pick a modern day state, and then from there, you need to determine what kind of site am I looking at. So within our options, you will see that we have several different sites that you can choose from. So you are going to elaborate on that information, and then you're going to take a look at those options. So there's going to be some pros or cons to each one, and then you're going to answer your questions accordingly. Sorry, it's bouncing around a little bit. Okay, so you're going to answer it in full sentences and providing as much detail as you can. Okay, so what's the future of your colony going to look like? What's the site? What's the location? What's going to be the name of it? So find something creative and unique, and then also consider the geography of your region. What's specific about your area? So again, that's why we had you look at those colonies, those maps, basically selecting a modern day state, okay? and find out a little bit about it. So you're gonna have to do a little outside research here, looking for the advantages and the disadvantages of each. So looking at landforms and bodies, some geography questions there, and then you'll answer those in complete sentences.